Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And
Roast.
I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
We are here with our reaction and review for The Amazing Race Season 38, Episode 1. Big Brother season is upon us.
And it's really exciting so far.
I really enjoyed this first episode. It's like, yeah, I do have a couple of beefs we'll get to over the course of it, but I just feel like, we both love Big Brother, so that's an
Love.
obvious advantage going into this season.
Mhm.
It's also nice for us that we don't have to spend a lot of time like getting to know all the individual players because for most of these teams, we have at least a good amount of knowledge of one half of it in advance.
Yes, absolutely, which is really helpful. I know beginnings of seasons, there tends to be a lot of like, who is this person?
Yeah.
What, of trying to remember names, faces, all of that. But this is really helpful because all of us who are Big Brother fans, we're watching the season, we're like, yeah, we know this person, this person, this person. So it is very helpful.
Yeah, and it's messy because Big Brother, it's a big community of alumni where
Yep.
everyone kind of knows everyone. Like there is that sort of rivalry sense, especially if you're coming on to this show after being on a previous season. Like we
Mhm.
saw a little bit of that with Jag and Izzy in this episode already.
Absolutely. And there's a few winners on this season too.
Yeah, so this is going to be a very fun jaunt through the Netherlands here in this video because we're going to talk a lot about this leg where we would probably excel if we were a team on this amazing race, but also just like the teams that we're liking the most and
Mhm.
that very interesting express pass decision that
Oh,
Taylor
man.
and Kyland made.
Yeah, it is interesting. I kind of get where they were going with it, but at the same time, I wouldn't give it to another winner, but that's just me, especially Jag. If you have watched his season, man, he can win challenges.
Okay, we have so much to talk about in this video. Before we do, though, be sure to hit that subscribe button because Jess and I will be here
Mhm.
throughout this amazing race. We're going to have all sorts of thoughts, a great time with you guys in the comments. And of course, we are also in the midst right now of Survivor 49.
Yeah.
And we have Celebrity Traders UK premiering next month, which we are endlessly excited for in a way that we cannot even describe.
Absolutely. We are eating very well in reality
Yes.
TV right now here at the channel. So hit that subscribe button and stick with
Mhm.
us. And if you want to talk about the amazing race further with us, you can head over to our Patreon. Over there, we're having all kinds of chats, discussions, polls, all kinds of fun stuff. So I'll leave a link for you below.
Thank you guys so much for your support here. Like, we appreciate that a ton.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll start this off here. I'll share a little bit of my bias going into all of this
Mhm.
because, like, I don't want to sit here and pretend to be like, I like all Big Brother house guests equally. I'm not Milchick. I have my preferences.
Mhm.
And I feel like I was pro Tucker heading into this. Like, I will just say it. I know Tucker is very, very polarizing, but he brought so much to his season.
Mhm.
He's a little bit like chaotic Jim Carrey. It's always the way I describe it in my head. And the other thing here, and please do not leave this video before I finish the following sentences because I know what it sounds like. Tucker is nowhere near the player of Big Brother that Dr. Will Kirby was, but he is one of the few people who I felt embodied that like I'm bigger than the game charisma that Will had. Tucker is just not anywhere near as well as good of a player, and he just messed this game up so many times.
And speaking of not the greatest players, the person that I was kind of looking forward to seeing was Enzo, who is somebody that I've really enjoyed watching on Big Brother. And it's weird for me to say that because he has placed quite well in Big Brother. He hasn't won, but he's always made it like very, very close to the end. And here I was like, oh my God, he's going to be on here. This is going to be so fun. He's ridiculous and he's so ridiculous and he's gone already. I'm not surprised, but I was not the happiest to watch him go.
I remember back at the start of Big Brother All Stars when you were on here championing Enzo and he made it all the way to the end of
Yep.
that season. Yeah, not as happy an occasion for you. I will say though, through Enzo and his brother's one appearance here, they went out delivering all of the goods.
Oh my goodness, watching them in their, I guess their bike wasn't necessarily in tandem. It was like a bike in a big shoe. It was It was so watching just the bike is falling over. He's like, I'm done. The brother's like, help me. I'm still in this bike. They delivered such comedy. And that's what I was really hoping for with Enzo, because every time I see Enzo on Big Brother, he frustrates me, but he also just makes me laugh. So yeah, that's who I was excited to see. I didn't think he was gonna win, but I did think he was gonna make it a little further than episode 1.
Enzo is such a fascinating reality TV entity because, yeah, he did really well both of the first 2 Big Brother seasons,
Yes.
and he's a pretty good social player. But I would always watch him in competitions, and I'd be like, is there anything that you're actually good at? Because it feels like on the surface you should be, but even in this episode, yeah, he and his brother getting lost. You're getting all the typical Enzos of, yo, I don't know what's going on, yo.
Yo.
It is what it is, yo. And I just love the visual of, yeah, someone's being stuck in a giant shoe, that they messed up this first challenge so badly that they were even punished to have to do this.
Yeah, and what's the punishment? You have to eat a fish? Please, that's nothing. That fish actually looked quite good. I love fish.
Okay, well, here is where we have our first parting of the ways in this video, where it's
You also love fish.
yeah, but that fish didn't look good. Well,
It looked good to
listen,
me.
I like fish, but you know, I'm a little picky about my fish sometimes. Like, I'll
Mm.
go to the store and I'll see a certain kind of fish that's on sale for like $1.99, and I'll look at it and I'll just be like, well, yeah, I kind of get it.
No, when it was first laid out, like I thought they were gonna eat it like that, where it was like had onions and pickles, also like, oh, this is the punishment, please. And then when they saw it and they were like, oh, you just have to pick it up and eat it. Even Enzo was like, oh my God. And then as he's eating, he's like, this is good. I'm like, yes, it is good.
I might be that way once I actually eat it, because this is the thing with the Amazing Race. You don't get to choose unless you're wanting to be like, okay, I'll take a penalty. And if you take a penalty, I'm automatically going to give you stink face, because that means you did not sign up for the right show.
Right.
Okay, we'll go back here to the start of this episode,
Mhm.
because this is, I'll put on a beef hat. Like, this is one of my two.
Oh, all right. Well,
one of my
beef hat is on early.
Okay, one of my 2 beefs with this season is I hate this whole European adventure theme that's going on here. This is not a race around Europe. This is a race around the world, and it feels like, I don't know, a little bit you're playing the Amazing Race on easy/medium mode here, because a lot of people in Europe speak English. You don't have
Yes.
as many problems with the language barrier. There may not be as much of a culture shock.
It's true. I mean, but at the same time, I love Europe, so I'm not here to complain about it. I'm just happy to have Big Brother players, and yeah, we're in Europe. I do like it better when you're going all around the world, but it could be worse.
I'm also a little bit jealous because I've never been to Europe, and I will sit here and own this from the get-go.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's amazing. You will go.
I will go, and I would love to go to the Netherlands, where they were in this leg of the race. So early on here, we get this challenge that leads up to the big Express Pass debacle here, where you're
Yes.
doing, I don't know what we want to call this, if it's ice bowling.
Body bowling?
It felt like
Ice body bowling?
It felt like the love child of bowling and curling, which is something I've also inexplicably really wanted to do for a long time.
Now, here's the thing about it. At first, when we like to think of like,
Yes.
who would be doing what if we were partnered on this, or which one would
Yeah.
be doing whichever challenge. Okay, so at first I was just like, oh, Matt's got to be the person that's on that sled going down the ice, because his
Yes.
body is so long. He is so tall. I am only 5 feet. I'm like, man, if he goes sideways, he's going to knock everything over. And then I was like, I can't push him.
Yeah, that's
Under no circumstances am I able to push him. I am a non-athlete. I am teeny tiny. I am 5 feet tall. I would not be able, so I'm on the sled.
Yeah, this in my brain, it was just like, I hope Jess is ready to be careening down the ice. And I would just be like, stick your arm. I know you're short, but stick your arms out
I
as
know.
long. Listen, I don't think we would be the worst at this. I am mediocre at bowling. I'm not terrible. I've done it enough. Sure, I haven't done it on the ice, but I feel like we could have figured this out.
Yeah, I feel that you're good to push me, and I'm fine to just lay on that thing and slide down the ice. I think that we would be okay with this one.
What was really funny to me was just sort of seeing, especially knowing how this episode ends, that like Jag and Jazz like struggled so much with this.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily as much as some other people, Enzo and your brother, but it's just it was a little bit of an interesting equalizer challenge to
Yeah.
start things off.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, well now we get to the big everyone's parked and we have the express pass decision.
Okay, so we've got Taylor and Kylan. They ended up getting the express pass, and then Phil's like, "Oh no, there's two of these jokers, so you get to give one away to
Yeah.
somebody." And while they're discussing it, I understand why they got to where they got to, where they were like, "Okay, you know what? We have other people that are racing here who we are friends with outside of this, and I think if we don't give it to them, we are still going to be friends. We are still going to work together. We are still going to be okay." I feel like that understanding completely makes sense to me. I was like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Then they're like, okay, so we'll give it to Jack and Jazz. And the minute that came out, I was like, okay, what is the thinking behind this? Because if you've watched Jag's season, you know that he really is amazing at competitions. He's won
Yeah.
so many competitions. Even Turner's just like, oh my God, this guy's like a challenge beast. Why would you give him any more help at this point?
Yeah.
He doesn't need it. But then I was kind of like, okay, well, if he is a challenge beast and then you give him this opportunity, then if he's able to give it back, which he said, hey, if I have an opportunity to give it back, we're going to help you out, sort of thing. That's a benefit to get you much further than giving it to, say, a team that is Enzo and he's out.
Okay. Taylor, I love you. I will always root for you, but this ain't it.
I
I'm sorry.
agree. This was totally a mistake.
Yeah, I just feel like the answer is screaming in my head what to do with this. You give it to Angela, because here's the thing. Angela, it's a miracle she lasted as long as she did on Big Brother, because she had a terrible social game. She won a couple of lucky competitions. She's going to melt down at some point in the next several episodes. She's going to scream at somebody, and then she's going to go home. You give this to someone who you know you will beat later, because then maybe Jag and Jazz get lost on one of these legs, and then Angela uses the express pass, and you get rid of a huge threat early on this season.
I would have given this express pass to someone that I thought was going to lose anyways, because
Yes.
I don't want somebody to have any kind of leg up on me. I certainly don't want, Jag and Jazz to have a leg up on me, because they are competition beasts. And that was just my only thinking of, like, maybe she's just, the two of them are just like, okay, maybe because they're so good, maybe we'll fall behind at some point and they'll be able to help us. But it's also like, no, they're going to be able to beat you. And that's why I would just want it out of the game. And I probably would have given it to Enzo.
You really would have given it to Enzo.
I would have given it to Enzo, because, like, as well as he does socially, this isn't really a social game. This is a challenge game, and that's not really his strong suit. And if I knew that, which I do, I would have given it to Enzo to get it out of the game.
Well, this is the thing. Like, the point you just made is really important, and this is why, Jag has won another season. Yeah, winners of Big Brother seasons might be targets, so I get that. But this is a totally different game. Like, for example, and I think Chelsea and her dad might be able to do okay, but I'm not coming into this season being, like, as terrified of Chelsea as I would be if I was playing Big Brother again. Like, I would want Chelsea out right away. But for the Amazing Race, the teams I would be terrified of if I'm Taylor and Kylan, who are both smart physical people, are, Jag and Jazz, Joseph and his brother, Tucker and Eric. Yes, like, people who are huge physical targets who are going to be able to outrun and outsprint you. Okay, so after the express pass decision, we get to, you have to bike to your next destination.
Which I think we would do excellent at, because this is Matt's forte. He is an avid biker. It is like his main mode of transportation. So I could just sit there and just have the pedals be going, and he could be just taking us out, because, like, I haven't been on a bike since I've been 10. So I feel like, Matt, you got us.
Okay, see, once upon a time, I actually knew the specific statistic about Amsterdam and the amount of bicycles that are there versus the number of people. I don't remember it, so I'm not going to say it to sound dumb in this video, but it's a culture in the Netherlands that you bike everywhere. And I am a very avid bicyclist. I think we would be okay at this, but this is a little bit of good news and bad news, right? Because I will help to get us to the destination here, to the cheese challenge, But then we actually have to do the cheese challenge.
Okay, so the cheese challenge is not as exciting as it sounds because when I
Oh,
first heard it, I was like,
I know, I
this is gonna
know.
be so good. But
Yeah.
no, it wasn't. It's these round balls of cheese that you have to stack up. And this is where I'm gonna call in the ringer. And that is my son Felix, who can stack things like you wouldn't believe. You should see the tree of shoes that he stacked today.
Yes, I saw the tree of shoes. I didn't know we had phone a friend on the Amazing
That's
Race.
right.
But yeah, okay, if Jess and I are doing this,
Oh no, we're still there
yeah,
doing this.
we
is
saw
what's
certain
happening.
teams struggle with this. Like for some reason, Tucker thought this was the hardest thing that he's ever been approached with, just like balancing it all out. And interestingly, like I was told, Felix is very young. I was told when I was a teenager that I had the balance of like a 4-year-old when I was 16. I would not be able to do this. I have shaky hands. We might have been able to survive this leg mostly because Enzo had no idea what he was doing the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
But we would probably be second to the last just based on this alone.
Yeah, it would have been tough. But
Yeah.
if we were early to the Daisy roadblock, I would have killed this. I would
Okay.
have killed this. I'm really good at memory stuff, so I would have been able to see those flowers, and I love flowers. I would have been able to do that as long as I wasn't part of the group where all of a sudden the shades came out and now I have to have like a headlamp on. That would have been the end of me. I don't see very well in the dark.
So we would have gotten to this challenge. And what would have happened here is I would have been like, okay, Jess, you got this. And
I would have had that.
you would have went in, and then I would have been incredibly jealous the whole time just because like you, I also really love flowers. There was like a year I had my own flower garden in the front yard and I loved it. I was like, there's nothing more rewarding than like seeing your work actually pay off. And it's just like, I can do this. But yeah, if you got me in that giant greenhouse, me and my bad vision, I would have been lost. I would have been handing that guy in his cool blazer all the wrong flowers again and again and again.
That greenhouse was gorgeous. And it was big and it was, oh, I can't even imagine how beautiful it smelled. It was the challenge for me. I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I feel like we could actually
Yeah.
do all right in this whole like leg.
I feel listen, there's gonna be a lot of legs coming up where we're both just like flailing on the ground.
Absolutely. Like, where are those ones? Where it's like, you have to propel down a building. No, thank you. I just quit.
Yeah, that might be us next week for all we know. But it was just like, yeah, I can bike us around. Jess can do the flower thing. I
Yeah.
was admittedly the moment that Rabina's sister gets to this and she's just like, I'm a florist. They have these amazing race editing moments over the years where they'll show someone talking about how good they are at something
Yeah.
and then they'll just fail. And
Of course.
I had this pit in my stomach that was just like, oh no, I like Rubina a lot. I
Yeah.
need her and her sister to do well, but no, they ended up being totally fine
They
here.
were totally fine.
Okay, so we end up in this spot. Well, first and foremost, Jag and Jazz, congratulations. You do win this leg.
Shocking.
Yeah, I know.
Jack's just he's so good at challenges.
He really, really is. And, Tucker and Eric right behind. Then we
Yep.
have, we're not going to run through like the placement of every team here,
No.
but I do want to mention Izzy and Paige in 3rd
Mhm.
place because here's the thing. I have big love for Izzy. I think that she is intense and terrifying in a way that only few people can be.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed her confessional where she still seems like she is refusing to accept that Jag won her season of Big Brother.
No, I really like her too. So I was very happy to see that they came in pretty high up there.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about it.
I feel like they're kind of the sleeper team this season because we know Izzy's very musically inclined.
Yep.
She's really, really competitive.
Yes.
We don't know that much about Paige, but I
Mhm.
feel like they're not going to give up. And things like they do a lot of dancing challenges.
Mhm.
I think Izzy's going to do really well at some of those.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so now we have the bottom of the pack here, the teams that are not doing so great. We have your guy Enzo, obviously.
Yeah, bye.
We have Kat and her boyfriend, and I lost count of how many times Kat cried over the course of this.
I completely understand. That's the thing about these shows, are really intense, right? And especially this show where you see teams coming in, leaving, coming in after you, leaving before you, and you just can't figure out what it is. You're tired, you've been running all day long, like no real break. And now all of a sudden you're in this like greenhouse that's like 6 football fields long,
Yes.
in the dark with a headlamp. There's, 18 different colors of pink. Like it, I completely understand. I would have been there. I'm a Pisces, so I'm a crier. I absolutely would be in the same spot where I'm just like, they all look big. I can't get me out of here.
I will say the thing I sympathized with her the most on was the moment you forgot something and you like have to go back. And this is
Yes.
something where you kind of know if you're on the Amazing Race, like one little mistake like this where you have to like double back, like
Yeah.
it can really doom you. And if this was not a situation where there was not complete disaster on the Enzo front, like you never know what would have happened.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then we have Turner and his wife, Megan Belmonte, who I only know her full name because Turner shouted her out like 2,000 times on that season. And here's the thing, I like Turner a lot. He's very fun. Do you have the killer instinct for the Amazing Race, Turner? Because this was my big question on Big Brother as well, because I wasn't really sure you had it then.
I'm worried about them. They are so cute and I really do like them, but like I am pretty worried about them.
Yeah, so like that is those are the people who are bringing up the rear here to an extent,
Yeah.
alongside Angela and her daughter, and I
Mhm.
think that's just going to be a recurring theme for her. Angela's going to bring a lot of entertainment for the next, I don't know, insert short period of time that she's on this season.
Yeah, it just feels like she has a lot of excitement about being on the season. I mean, the same even with Jag and Jazz at the beginning, where we're they're running up for the bowling thing, and both teams are like, everybody's holding clues. Like, I guess we just ran on by because we're just excited, following everybody, sort of thing. And I'm kind of wondering if that's going to end up being a thing that continues to happen for her.
Okay, well, we're near the end of this video, so I'll give my other beef here
All
on the
right,
premiere.
my
And
beef hat is still on.
okay, why is Felicia not on this season? I was just trying to think
Oh,
about who.
that'd be so
There
good.
were obviously some casting snubs. They didn't know that there's no time travel mechanism to get Keanu and Rachel on this season, but it's just like she would have been gold. And I understand there's a lot of people. It would be hard to take someone off. It just
Mhm.
feels like, guys, out of everybody, that was a real missed opportunity. I'm sorry.
That would have been a lot of fun.
But yeah, I still feel like this premiere was very fun. We set the
Yeah.
stage for what's hopefully going to be a really, really competitive season of this show.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there are a lot of people that have past relationships but seem to be really good. They're like, "Oh yeah, we dated, but now we're not, but we're still really good friends, or we're still
Yep.
tied, or we're like family." I'm like, I wonder how many alliances are already like pre-gamed going into this, where they're just like, I have to give this person my express pass because we're already good. I'm like, oh, okay, they're already good. Great.
Yeah, it's a good thing this is not like Survivor where there's a jury at the end and you end up like burning some real life friend who's never going to vote for you anymore.
Absolutely. But alliances do help a lot in The Amazing Race. We've
Yeah.
seen that in the past.
But that is where we are coming out of the premiere of The Amazing Race season
Mhm.
38. So let us know in the comments, what did you guys think about the Express Pass decision,
Yep.
the entire leg? Like, also tell us who you are rooting for in the comments and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything else. And you can support us further by joining our Patreon. That link is in the description.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. We'll see you here next time.